Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna everyone. So today is 8th of January 2024. Is Monday. Pausha Masa or Narayana Masa. Krishna Paksham and the Dwadasi Tithi. So there are no Vaishnavas today, but breaking the fast for Ekadasi in between 8:04 and 10:46 according to the London times. So that's all from the Vaishnavas perspective. So we'll quickly enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sukha Goswami is narrating to the Saunakadi sages about who are all coming to the place where Parikshit Maharaj is sitting, and then what Parikshit Maharaj is going to do later on. So he has mentioned so many sages' names. Atrihi Vasishta Chavanaha Saradvan Aristanemihi Bhruvarangirasha Parashuro Bhadistu Ataramaha Utacha Indra Pramadaha Idmavahu Medadidi Devala Ashtishena Bharadvajo Gautamaha Pippaladaha Maitreyaha Aurvaha Kavashaha Kumbhayonihi Dvaipayano Bhagavan Naradaha. So all these great sages along with their disciples, they have appeared, and also Anyesha Devashi Brahmashi Varya Rajashi Varya Arunadayaksha Nana Arsheya Pravran Sametan Abhyacha Raja Sirsabhavande. And so many Devashis, Brahmashis, Rajashis, and Arunadayas, Arsheya Pravran Sametan, when they have appeared, the Parikshit Maharaj Abhyacha Raja Sirsabhavande, he has bowed down to all of these great sages. Abhyacha Raja Sirsabhavande, and he worshipped them. So, and then further, Sukadeva Goswami is saying, after all these great sages, they have seated firmly. And once again, Parikshit Maharaj, he has offered his obeisances again, and then he has submitted his decision, whatever he wanted to do, the Prayopavesha, a fast until death, and he has mentioned. And also completely detaching from the material affairs. And he has stood before all these sages and with folded hands and submitting and asking for their permission, kind of thing. So it needs to be authorized. When any decision is taken, it must be authorized by great saintly people. So likewise, Sutta Goswami is saying, so we are in the first canto, chapter 19, verse number 12. Sukopavishteshu atateshu bhuyaha krita pranamaha swachikishitam yat vijñāpayāmāsa vivikta cheta upasthito agre abhigruhita panihi. Sukopavishteshu atateshu bhuyaha. Sukopavishteshu. After all these great sages, they have seated firmly and comfortably. Sukha, very comfortably, happily. Sukopavishteshu ata teshu bhuyaha. Thereupon, the Parikshit Maharaj, teshu bhuyaha, he has told them, unto them, he has said, Krita pranamaha. How? By offering once again, Krita pranamaha, having offered his obeisances again. Bhuyaha Krita Pranamaha. Again, he has offered his obeisances. Swachikishitam yet, and whatever he wanted to do, that is Prayopavesham. Swachikishitam yet, Vijnapayamasa. So that is, he has submitted his decision. Vivikta Cheta. One whose mind is detached from the worldly affairs, all material things, material duties, no more family, no more kingdom, no more kingly affairs or anything else, no more friends. So Vijnapayamasa Vivikta Cheta. Upastito Agre Abhigruhita Panihi. Upastito Agre. He has stood before these great sages. Upastito Agre, in front of all these sages. Abhigruhita Panihi, and humbly with folded hands. That is the etiquette of a Vaishnava. He is always offering obeisance as soon as devotees enter into the temple, first offering obeisances to the spiritual master, and then offering obeisances to the deities. Likewise, here, Parikshit, he is Upasito Agre Abhigruhita Panihi, with folded hands and bowing down his head first, and then later on, again, he is offering his Abhigruhita Panihi, humbly submitting himself with his decision. Sukopavishteshu atateshu bhuyah krutpranamah swakishitam yat vijñāpayāmāsa vivikta cheta upasito agre abhigrihita panihi. So translation for this verse. After all the rishis and others had seated themselves comfortably, the king, humbly standing before them with folded hands, told them of his decision to fast until death. Until death. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although the king had already decided to fast until death on the bank of the Ganges, he humbly expressed his decision to elicit the opinions of the great authorities present there. Any important decision, however firmly fixed, should be confirmed by some authority. That makes the matter perfect. This means that the monarchs who ruled the earth in those days were not irresponsible dictators. They scrupulously followed the authoritative decisions of the saints and sages in terms of Vedic injunction. Maharaja Parikshit, as a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here it is very, very beautiful points Prabhupada is making. All these great kings or Rajarshis, they consult the saintly people first and then they execute the further activities. So here Parikshit, he wanted to do Prayopavesha until death. So if we observe, just before his Duryodhana, he was also tried to do Prayopavesha at once. When he was insulted by the Chitrara and Gandharvas, and then later on Arjuna and Bhimasena, they rescued Duryodhana from the Gandharvas. It is during the forest exile of the Pandavas. At the time, Duryodhana he wanted to show off in front of the Pandavas with all his paraphernalia, how he is enjoying. And then later on, there were Gandharvas were taking bath in that pond, and then Duryodhana, he asked them to go, but there was a fight between them because Duryodhana's ego is like that. And then they have captured Duryodhana and they have taken Duryodhana away. During that time, on the request of Yudhishthira, Duryodhana's wife, she went to Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira said to Arjuna and Bhimasena to go and rescue Duryodhana. When there is any enemy is coming, we are all 105 brothers. In between us, then we are 500. So likewise, Yudhishthira told Arjuna and Bhimasena. Bhimasena was not agreeing to for that one. So later on, after Arjuna and Bhima rescued from the Gandharvas, Duryodhana was rescued, and then he just came down. He was released and straight away come to the point where Yudhishthira is sitting and onto his lotus feet. Duryodhana fell onto the lotus feet of Yudhishthira. So it was a great insult for the Duryodhana. He was rescued by his enemies. That is his feeling. But from Pandava's perspective, Yudhishthira perspective, he never considered Duryodhana as an enemy. He is the Ajata Shatru. So Duryodhana, after that point, so everything is done. Now he felt so much of insult. And then he wanted to do the Prayopavesha. This life is useless. I am defeated. There is no value for this life. And he said to, when he was returning back to his kingdom, he said for the Prayopavesha, I will fast until death. And then so many people, Shakuni came there, Dushasana came there, Karna came there, and then everyone tried to uh, dissuade him from his decision from the Prayopavesha, but he did not. He was sitting there. And then when he was sitting there, uh, later on, in his mind, he came to that due to that demoniac qualities that he has got. And then he understood that somewhere or other, he would be able to defeat the Pandavas in the future. And these daityas, they came into his mind and then they have influenced him. Immediately, he has rejected that Prayopavesha, stopped that Prayopavesha, and then appearing that to all of them, okay, because you have said, I am just stopping this Prayopavesha. So here, there is no authority for Duryodhana uh, to approve that his Prayopavesha is the right. That is one instance. And also after the Kurukshetra, when again he went into the waters on his own decision, and then he tried to do Prayopavesha there also, and with the loss of all his friends and family members, everyone. And later on, it is just on his own, it is not approved by anyone. Later on, Yudhishthira went and then asked him, would Duryodhana just come and fight with one of us? You can choose one of us. So there also he has given the options. And somewhere or other, Yudhishthira, he made him to come out. So here, Duryodhana's Prayopavesha doesn't have any approvals. But here, Parikshit, he is the responsible king. When he is doing, he is consulting the authorities, saintly people. But previously also, when so many saintly people went to Duryodhana and tried to say, you listen to these instructions, give the kingdom, righteous kingdom, righteously, give the kingdom to the Pandavas. But he never agreed. But whereas Parikshit, Yudhishthira, first they submit the whatever they're thinking, and then they take the permission from the saintly people. So that way, it would have any value for it. Either it is a fight or Prayopavesha, anything. Like in our day-to-day life, a son is doing something, if he gets the approval from the father, it would have value. Wife is doing any puja, vrata or anything, it would have a value, not by rejecting. And also if a person is doing, if with the approval of spiritual master, it would have any value. This is the way of the dharma. Unless if he is completely rejecting all the material world and surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this material world, one has to follow dharma. So they have to follow, if we are going to the office, one has to follow the instruction of a manager or someone who is authority. So that is here Parikshit's position. Sukopavishteshu atateshu bhuyah krit pranamah swachikishitam yat vijnapayamasa viviktacheta upasito agre abhigruhita panihi. He has submitted his result, and Prabhupada is mentioning that Parikshit is a perfect king, followed the principles by consulting the authorities even up to the last days of his life. So this is the scrupulously followed kings. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukopavishteshu atateshu bhuyah krit pranamah swakishitam yat vijnapayamasa vivikta cheta upasito agre abhigruhita panihi. Okay, we shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's letter. So today it is letter to Brahmananda, December 2, 1969, London. It is a small letter. Can I request any dear devotees to read this letter? I shall read it. Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Brahmananda, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your letter dated November 26, 1969, and I have noted the contents carefully. Regarding Japan, for the time being, let only one man go. If they require more men, later on shall consider. We shall consider. To send a man is a very expensive job. The principle is that they should recruit men locally. 40 years ago, when Bon Maharaj, my god brother, came here, he complained of getting some manpower from India. That is not a good policy, that for preaching work one has to get men from another country. One has to create manpower from the local environment. That is success of preaching. I am very pleased that Jayadvaita Brahmachari will be going to Boston soon for typing BTG and our books. He is the first class typist in our society so far, I have heard. So he can create so many assistants in the meantime. I have also asked Pradyumna and his wife to go there. I understand that you have spoken to him on the telephone regarding the Bhakti Sastri certificates. The papers have been marked, but the certificates were not taken due to our minimizing the luggage to Europe. Therefore, if there is an urgent need of the certificates immediately, you can look in the trunk left in New York and send here the certificate which we will have printed here. Otherwise, we shall take care of this business when I return to the state, most likely around December 20th. Please offer my blessings to the others. I hope this will meet you in good health. Your evaluation, Ashipati Swami Swami. Okay. P.S. From 14th to 21st December, the installation of deity 42-inch high will take place. Invitation will be issued duly. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Can you take your points, Mataji, from this?
Here the Prabhu, the main point is whenever they are going to do something and then they can't take the manpower like to take the people there and then gonna preaching there. But if they are they have to be locally and get the people and other things like the one brahmachari, Jadid brahmachari, is good at typing, so he can teach other people and then get the so many assistants to do the works also. So yeah, Prabhu, that is that. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly summarizing. Any other points, dear devotees?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. First thing is the business. This is a policy for the when you do any business, and it should have to with the local people. And Prabhupada understand this is very carefully. is so yeah. Whenever you are doing something, the local people has to do that. This is the important because there is the issue to go to Japan also. It was the point. Another thing, Brahmananda now a Maharaj. At that time he was a brahmachari. And this is another mention about Bhakti Sastri course. He did in 1969. It was clear. Now we understand from this letter. So he did at that time. So now he's actually he did a lot of things. He's a good typist, and he type at that time. Typing is very important. So he did Back to Godin and other books also. So now he's as another thing as an editor also, because there is some mistake or some other thing, or typing mistake or maybe other way of understanding the content and Prabhupada, whatever like to present. So there is some little gap, but he tried to sort out this issue. So these are the point is coming. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. That is a good point. Any other points, dear devotees? Okay, so this is mainly my takeaway point from here is the preaching and the recruiting the devotees locally. That is my point, my takeaway point. Thank you.
And DT installation, there is another point at the final. That was the very
Yeah. This yesterday also, in yesterday's letter also, there is same point mentioned. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, so that is from Prabhupada's letter and from the announcements point of view. So tomorrow evening we have got preaching session with Sridhar Govindas Prabhuji. And once again our events, weekly events continue. There are no changes. That's all from the announcements. I don't have any further to update. Dear devotees, if you got any updates from the temple or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share.
Hare Krishna. There is a Radhadesh Mela also is coming end of this month. So if anyone has planned, please join there. It's very nice. It's wonderful. If you join, otherwise you can is to hear. But if you join there, you find very very interesting there. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that update. Any other updates? Okay, so in that case, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
जय
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
श्री कृष्ण